Okay, before 12 days ago, Chris, how many car seat installations had you done in your life?
0. They made me do it at the hospital because they won't let you go home unless you can demonstrate that you can do it. So I think since then I probably put the carriers into just to go to the pediatrician. So maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times since we brought him home.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I was working with Chris probably 2 weeks ago, and he is a quick study. So Chris, let's try that with the stroller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the UppaBaby Vista right here. It's in a package.
Sure.
What we have here is we have the seat, we have 2 car seats, and we have the bassinet. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with the UppaBaby Vista manual. And I'm going to back up. I want to see how you do, okay? This is my brother-in-law, Chris, and he is going to put together the UppaBaby Vista. Now, the UppaBaby Vista is a high-end stroller, and you're going to see this as he puts it together. But let's see how easy it is to install. This right here is a travel bag. As you can see, it can be used as a backpack. So when you're traveling, you can just put that on your back, and you can use it as a carry-on. Also, UppaBaby will warranty if anything happens during travel. Okay, so Chris is starting. Chris, what are you doing here?
You just got to kind of rotate the wheel until you find where it will lock in. So there's each one has the axle will lock in a specific spot. So you just rotate until you find that spot. That one locks in there.
And Chris, if you were to take that off, how easy would it be to take off?
It's pretty simple. And you have to take it off and sort of put it in the bag. But once you've got it in, like I said, you just got to rotate and find that one spot. It's as easy as pushing this button right here. Comes right off. Push it, locks back on just like that.
Fantastic.
Pretty simple.
Okay.
These wheels here also come off. There's a little locking mechanism on them. You can take them off. It's just a little latch right there. So you can do that with them as well, but it's not required to store it in the bag. So.
And Chris, what are these buttons over here on the side?
These right here are for locking the wheels in limiting the travel of the wheels.
Okay,
so.
Great.
All right.
All right, so we started here.
We've got a couple parts that store in here pretty easily. These are the risers that you use for the, we're going to set this up for twins because I have twin boys. So we've got 2 different sets of those. One is the lower and one is the upper. And then these lock in, and then the seats actually mount on these on the frame. And these are color-coded. When you look at them, you'll see one side is blue, one side is brown. So we'll match those up when we place them on the frame.
Okay.
Pretty easy stuff.
And how are we going to open this up?
Well, it's really easy. The only spot you have to worry about for this is right here.
Okay.
Pull that tab right there, and then it folds right open, just like that. Locks in easy. If you wanted to unlock it, you would simply pull here, push, and that locks back. One thing you should do is have the handle extended all the way if you want to balance it. So here, and that'll lock in as well.
Yeah.
Right there is where it locks in. So that way it'll stand alone by itself. Pretty straightforward. And again, it's pushing that. Simple as that. It opens up and it locks. Then you can extend the handle like I did before. You want the handle extended all the way before you fold it, so that it'll freestand by itself.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the frame and the wheels.
Now, if you were just to have one child,
You can see right here where I locked that one earlier, right? So you've got the opportunity to lock the wheels or unlock them so that they will caster.
and where's your brake button?
Brake button's right here. That works both wheels. Press that, and both wheels are locked, both rear wheels. And again, if you were gonna take it down, that's what you'd do. And lock that before, and you might have seen me kind of wheeling it around. That's the easiest way to to have it be freestanding and kind of out of the way in the room.
Perfect.
Again.
And we're just going to check this basket. Look how humongous this basket is. And there's even little pockets over on the side. So if you want to...
You could put a couple diapers in there or some lotion if you needed to, or even a water bottle would fit really well there.
Okay, and then Chris, why don't we just put the bassinet in here right now?
Okay.
Just because, let's not put the adapters, because some people just have one baby instead of two, and we can kind of show how easy.
Super, super easy. Now this has the quilted cover for in the winter, right? But you could have this unzipped. And just as an accessory, you wouldn't have to have this in. We could set that aside. So there's your bassinet, right? And you can have it facing either away, forward, so they could see out, or you could have them facing toward you. Either one. It's super easy. It's just a one-button control right here. The risers here, they go in. They fit into these sockets. As simple as that.
Hear that click?
Just like that, you got the click and you're good.
And how easy is it to take out?
Well, how about if I just turned it around? I push that button, I can
Nice.
turn them around this way, and now I've got them facing me. Same thing. Real super easy. There's a SPF shield here, so you got them out. You can crank this open and keep the sun off them. And then there's also some venting you can do. Let's see. By unzipping this, if you have it on a hot day, you could open this up. You've got the screen here. And I can fold that up a little bit, and so I've got the screen there, and there's venting here on the side too. So
And even underneath here, you have a little pocket underneath. I don't know if you can see it right there, but it adds more ventilation. This is very breathable material. This is safe for sleeping in. If your child wants to go to sleep at night, they can actually use this bassinet.
yeah, pretty straightforward. I mean,
Beautiful.
if we wanted to, we could actually put them down in this in the house, or if you were visiting a friend, or if you were staying in a hotel. This would be an easy way to take the baby, and you wouldn't have a crib available where you're going. So pretty straightforward. This is collapsible too, and I can show you that another time.
Okay. Let's say if you have twins. Let's say you have two boys named Grayson and John.
It just so happens I do have twin boys, Grayson and John. So we'll take the bassinet off. Now, you can actually install two bassinets or two car seat type, they'd be carriers that you could take from the stroller to freestanding to the car seat. So I'll show you how both of those work. And I've got two of them over here. I'll put the bassinet aside. So these two car seats here, this one has a cover over it. We found that that's a really nice way to make the baby feel secure, keep the wind off them, and this just we got one for each.
And you can buy the pinstripe ivory cover goods car seat cover at Modern Natural Baby. But let's go ahead.
Where we got them. Anyway, the UppaBaby, the car seat, the Mesa is what this one's called, and it's very easy to convert. Go from the stroller to the car seat, and then like they are here, freestanding.
And what Chris is going to show you how easy the adapters are to put on. So, a lot of times when you see adapters, you're like, "Oh man, this is going to be difficult." But let's see what he's got here.
So what we're looking for is, again, the color coding. We've got the blue one here. The larger ones go on the bottom. The smaller ones go on the top. That's pretty easy to remember.
Okay.
The blue color coding here and here. You slide that right on.
Blue and blue.
And brown on this side.
Brown and brown.
So this one's ready, and it's all ready for a
we
seat.
have the adapters on. And Chris, now what are we going to do?
Well, now we can go ahead and put the carriers in. And best thing to do here is, again, lock the wheels so that they're tight. That way you're not going to get any movement during the installation. So first thing we'll do is put our front seat in, and we'll have them facing toward us. Pretty simple. Goes right down onto that riser right there. Same thing on this side. Locks in. At that point, I can adjust this forward or back wherever I want. And I can also adjust the sunshade.
And do you see how the sunshade doesn't hit?
That's right. So you can come in, that way you don't disturb the sunshade. And it's simple as that, just that simple, in and out, right like that. And again, just make sure that those risers, the adapters, lock into position. So there's one. You have one in, and then the other one, simple. Even with the shade on it, I'll take that off after. Even with the shade on it, just make sure that your getting those locked in.
You see exactly where he's putting this in. Circle meets a square.
And that locks, and you'll hear a nice click. Go ahead and take this off.
Okay.
And again, simple to release. You could even turn this around, maybe put it in the other position if that's what you wanted to do on that particular day. And put this up. Really, really versatile and easy to work with.
Okay, Chris, let's give you a little test on the UppaBaby Mesa themselves. A lot of people know about the stroller, but people don't know the high-end car seat that they have. This is an UppaBaby Mesa, and I just want to give you a quick test. First of all, where should their head be?
Well, their head, you're going to want to have the backrest here adjusted so that their head, when they're in a position seated in the seat, their head is right in the middle of this kind of target area here where it says SIP. And this is SIP stands for Side Impact Protection. One of the features of this particular seat, and the fact that it's a little bit heavier than some seats, is because it has this built in. This is one of the highest risks for the child, is a side impact if somebody T-bones you. And so this extra padding here is really additional for their safety.
Can you take to the lowest? A lot of times this can go up down to 4 pounds, and probably is one of the biggest benefits, as you can see, is how low that harness can go.
Now, it really is down there. You could use this insert here. I mean, it depends on the size of your child, but really this extra insert here, we're using them right now because our kids were preemies, but this is good for up to 8 pounds. So once your child hits the 8 pound or higher, depending on their comfort, you could actually take this insert out, and then you're operating without that. This is for 4 to 8 pounds you'd use this on typically.
And here's a fun fact is that 10% of children who come home from hospitals are actually under 5 pounds. So if half the car seats won't allow you to do that. So if you're picking a car seat, that's one thing you want to look at. What is the lowest limit on the pounds? And Chris, can you tell me when it's time to change? I know it's 32 pounds, but about the height, when is it time to get a new car seat? When is this too small for your boys?
Once that insert's out, this adjusts all the way up to the top here, and you can adjust it incrementally as they grow. And once it's all the way to the top, there's a little pull tab right here, and that's what adjusts it up, and then it locks in. Once you're all the way to the highest mark right here, you don't want them to be more than 1 inch from the very top. So maybe about 1 inch right there. Right about the time that their height puts them past the logo, the UppaBaby logo here, that's probably the time to go up to the new size. When you unbuckle this, you unbuckle at the chest here. That's the piece across the chest of the armpit. Push here. And then what I kind of like, one feature I do like, is that it has these little holders for the clips. So you can push those in, and that really gets the straps completely out of the way for pulling your child in and out. Gives you a lot of room there. So.
And it's also a safety thing, just as far as in the heat, these can get really hot.
Oh yeah.
And they can burn. Also, what they do is they put a little piece of foam right at the buckle here, and what it does is it allows it to push forward, so whenever baby's in, it's not getting in your way. Yeah. Chris, let's quickly talk about the base over here.
This is the base that goes in the car. It really is very easy. Again, it's intuitive, just like everything else. You don't really ever need to look at that manual, but it's there if you need it. The truth is that this is really low profile, and it's thin. It's not a thick base, even though the seats are kind of thick base, roomy for your child. This thin base is really good, especially for newer cars that have contoured seats. If you have a contoured leather seat, this fits very easily right in between the contours of the seat, so it won't mar up or put marks on your leather seats.
And then show them the upside down, just to show the flat surface.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing here. It's nice and smooth, just as if somebody was sitting on it, so it won't in any way damage the seat.
So you don't need a car seat mat. Sometimes people put car seat mats.
No.
Here you can just put it straight on.
We have leather seats in both vehicles, and it hasn't put a single mark on them.
Chris, how fast can you install this with the latch system?
With the latch system, I don't know, maybe 8.5 seconds.
And how fast if you have to do it with the seatbelt latch?
If you're doing with the seatbelt latch, I'd say, maybe add 5 seconds to that, maybe 12, 13 seconds.